Shalom, sister, shalom. Kol halo Yahweh Bahashem, Hamashiach, wa Malak Yahushai. All honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All praises to the Most High. Lord willing, this video gets uploaded through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Lord willing, y'all just been enduring and holding it down through the spirit. So, all praises. So we here, y'all. I know it's been a while since, I did a video, like an in-depth video. So, I'm here through the spirit, Lord willing. And the topic of conversation is, I wanted to touch on becoming a aged woman in the truth, and also calling on the name of the Lord, when we are in distress or going through trials and tribulations. So I had a dream about maybe it was last week. And in my dream, pretty much I was with my family and we were looking up at the sky, and in the sky it was like this red spot, but it started to travel north, and then it shot down from the sky, and then it turned into a tornado of fire, and it's like coming towards us, it's spinning and spinning and spinning, and we're like, we can't even run, it's no way we can run from it. So all we could do was we kind of just held on to each other. And mind you, I'm recording on my phone all of this happening. So we all just my phone is still recording, but we all, cover each other, and we just say, we calling on the Lord. And we just blessing the Lord, saying, Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahushai, please have mercy on us. And, that's all we could think to say. So after while we're doing that, that's when the fiery tornado pretty much passes over us. And after it passes over us, we get up. And when we get up, I'm looking through my phone at my husband and my kids, and everybody has on like red and gold garments. And my husband had a real long gray beard, and he was holding the kids, and everybody had on red and gold. And there was even some sisters afar off that had red and gold on, but pretty much everything was destroyed. And it kind of just made me think about how, we're going to have to go through, the furnace of affliction, and how, let me get the precept. Isaiah 48:10, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. It's 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahushai's sufferings, that with his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached by the name of Yahushai, happy be ye, for the spirit of glory and God resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. But that kind of reminded me of that precept as well, because, no matter what we go through the spirit, you always have to call on the name of the Lord to help deliver us when we're going through trials and tribulations. So, and I want to get another precept. Ecclesiasticus 2:5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old, and see, did any ever trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. And ultimately, that's what happened in a dream. We were going through a fiery trial, and we called on the name of the Lord, and we trusted in the name of the Lord and asked the Most High for mercy. And the Lord saved us in that time of affliction. So all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Even if it was a dream, that's still spiritual, that you still have to ask the Most High for mercy and call upon him and bless him when you're going through your trials and tribulations. But woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and a sinner that goeth two ways. So woe to sisters if you got one foot in and one foot out, if you lukewarm, so that the Lord spit you out, where you go through a trial and tribulation, but it's too much for you. You're not calling on the name of the Lord. You're not blessing the Lord. You're not rejoicing in a trial and tribulation that was brought into you. So that's pretty much, what I wanted to bring out that's what I wanted to bring out regarding my dream. And a sister, this was something that I was meditating on pretty much for like 2 days. So then another sister, she reached out to me. She had a dream that this fire was pretty much coming towards her while she was in her car. And she said that when she woke up, she said it was moving fast. And she said pretty much when she woke up, the dream was over, but she said it had hit her car. And I was telling her, about my dream. And I said, when dreams like that happen too, you still got to remember, we got to call on the name of the Lord. The sister said, I didn't really think about that. And I said, that's just the spirit. It's really the spirit, because how do we have the same dream pretty much, about that fire coming to us? That, it kind of remind me of Job. The Lord speaketh not once, but twice, and man perceiveth not. In the visions of sleep, paraphrasing this precept. Let me get it. This is Job 33:14. For God speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and the slumberings upon the bed. Then he opened the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. So having that dream of us being transformed and us having those new bodies and us being in the kingdom of heaven. And through my dream, that's what we saw, because we was calling on the name of the Lord. So we can't, say, dang, I wish we could go back. It's not, the Lord, we can't do that. There's no going back when it's time for judgment. It's time for us to get the kingdom. She was trying to, go back to sleep so she could finish her dream. And it kind of reminded me of how, you can't go back. When it's time for judgment, you can't go back and change your ways. You can't go back and say, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have called on the Lord, or I wish I had more faith, or I wish I would have repented more, I wish I would have fasted more. So you got to kind of stand sure and bold, for what we believe in through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and try our best through the Spirit, even though it was a dream. But I'm just thinking about it spiritually, that we have to try our best to always make sure that we making our calling and election sure, that we're able to be found blameless in the sight of the Lord. And that we don't have that, spirit of wanting to go back to try to, kind of make things right. So all praises to the Most High that the sister, shared that dream with me, and it was a spirit. And the sister is a sister, you already know who you are, you're a real mighty sister through the Spirit. And if that dream happened, for Israel, I feel like to get edified. Although you don't want to give your mind over to heaviness about every dream or etc., but I just kind of perceived the dream to be that, look, that's the Most High kind of instilling our instruction that when you go through trials and tribulations and you're being tried as gold and fire, which kind of I think might be the reasons why our garments were red and gold. When you're going through those trials and tribulations, that you have to call on the Lord. And I wanted to bring out precepts of our foremothers calling on the Lord when they went through trials and tribulations. So call hello Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to it. So I want to bring out the editions of Esther 15:1. So for the sisters that don't know, this is in the 1611 Apocrypha. So it's not in the actual KJV Bible, but in the 1611 Bible. Additions to Esther 15:1. And upon the third day, when she had ended her prayers, she laid away her mourning garments and put on her glorious apparel. And being gloriously adorned after she had called upon God, who is the beholder of and Savior of all things, she took 2 maids with her. So Esther, when she was put into a very trying time where Haman was trying to deliver the children of Israel to be spoiled and to be killed, she was going through such, when you read this account, I'm not going to read the whole thing or go into it, but if you haven't read about Esther, especially in the editions of Esther, the things that she did, she was pulling out her hair, she was, stuffing her hair, in her joyful places. She pretty much was mourning and fasting 3 days and 3 nights, and ultimately calling upon the Lord so that the Lord could help her in her trials and tribulations, about helping her when she was being tried, while her people was being tried. And sisters have to be that same exact way. When we going through trials and tribulations, when we go through Jacob's trouble, when we go through, when all hell break loose, you always have to remember to always call upon the name of the Lord. And I want to get Judith, our other righteous foremother, an example of her calling upon the name of the Lord when the children of Israel was in distress by the hand of Holofernes. This is Judith 16:2. And Judith said, begin unto my God with timbrels, sing unto my Lord with cymbals, tune unto him a new psalm, exalt him and call upon his name. So this is a custom of Israel. This is a custom of women calling upon the name of the Lord in distress. So Judith, she didn't call upon the Lord, just when all hell was breaking loose, but she also called upon the Lord, when she was giving thanks unto him. And that's something to take into consideration, that you want to call upon the Lord and bless him when you're not only at a low estate like Esther, but also when you're rejoicing, when the Lord has hearkened into your prayers and fasting, and you overcoming your tribulation through the strength and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And that's what Judith was doing, exalting him and calling upon his name. Romans 10:13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. So it's really that simple. If you call upon the name of the Lord, you're going to be saved. Acts 2:21, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. This is Psalms chapter 27:8. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. So all of these other heathens, Gentiles, etc., they trust in Esau, they trust in the military, they trust in whatever, witchcraft, astrology, sorcery, dark magic, root work, whatever you can think of. That's the complete opposite of keeping the commandments and calling on the name of the Lord. That's who they trust on. They trust on all of those things. But we remember the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua like our foremothers did. And that's who we call on. This is Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So the name of the Lord is our comfort. And it kind of reminds me of this one time when I had a dream. I think I told y'all about this dream before, but it was so absurd. I had a dream. I was sitting on my couch and this demon literally threw something at me, and I look up and it's literally attacking me. Like, I'm scared, and I'm calling, like, how when you get scared or you've heard people get so scared they call, mommy, help me, but instead I was like, dang, I was so disappointed in my dream that I didn't call on the name of the Lord. So that's just something that we have to do. We have to call on the name of the Lord. You can't call for nobody else help but the Lord. That's where we run to. That's our safety net. And I think after that dream, I have had dreams where I actually did, the Most High put it in my spirit to call on his name. So all praises to the Most High. But I'll never forget that dream. So y'all never forget that dream, because I was real disappointed in myself. I was like, dang, what's going on? But that's something that we have to do. We always have to call on the name of the Lord. Psalms 94:22. Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. So the Lord is the rock of our refuge. That's where we run to. That's where the righteous run to. And that's where we're safe. So all praises and honor, glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, and since I wanted it to be a two-part video, just thinking about and meditating on how, the elder women and the righteous examples, called on the name of the Lord. And that goes into, I feel like that kind of ties into, being that Titus 2 woman. That Titus 2 woman, we don't let the word of the Lord be blasphemed. We're going to teach our children the name of the Lord, and we're going to exalt him and bless him and praise him. And it just made me want to do a video just touching on something that I was talking to sisters about, being an elder woman, being that Titus 2 woman that we all strive to be. I was telling them, like, I can't wait for the day for us, if we're here, to be that elder sister. I know in Israel, it's like, it's a custom for maybe when you reach the age of 50 for you to be like an official elder. Because I remember when Zabak got his what's it called? Eldership. I think it was when he turned 50. I could be wrong. Y'all can correct me below if I'm wrong. But, he turned 50, and that's when he became an elder. So either way, some sisters are still going to be elder or older than you if you are younger, but you should always, entreat that sister, like a sister or an elder or a mother, like an elder mother. But I'm going to get to that point in a minute. All right, so let's bring it out. The classic Titus 2 and 3. The aged women likewise, if they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things. So we're going to teach our children, and we're going to teach the younger sisters to be teachers of good things, which is calling on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That they be in behavior as becometh holiness. A part of being holy, which is set apart, is calling apart on the set apart holy name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay. Titus 2 and 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai be not blasphemed. So all praises and honor and glory to the Most High. This is something that we all strive to be, and its truth is a Titus 2 woman. So don't forget, one of the main key factors of being a Titus 2 woman is to teach sisters good things. And it's a good thing to teach sisters and to exhort sisters to call on the name of the Lord when you're going through trials and tribulations. Talked about Judith earlier, but I want to bring her up again. This is Judith 16 and 23. But she increased more and more in honor and waxed old in her husband's house, being 105 years old, and made her maid free. So she died in Bethulah, and they buried her in the cave of her husband Manasseh. So as this elder woman, she wasn't always an elder, but she increased more and more in honor, meaning that her works did not just stop when she cut off Holofernes' head and brought it back. Her works did not stop there, meaning she increased more and more in honor, that she did more works, that she wasn't idle, that she kept her hand forth to the plow, and that she waxed old in her husband's house. That's a blessing to be that old, to be 105 years old. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So this is something that we look up to, and this is something that we strive to be as sisters. We strive to increase more and more in honor. Okay? And in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Job 12 and 12. With the ancient is wisdom, and in the length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. So a lot of these elder sisters, although I do feel like, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of elder sisters, at least I don't, we don't, but that's just the way that the Lord set it up. He set it up like this for a reason. It's not many elder sisters, in the truth that we can go to that's 60, 70, 80 years old, that's ancient, that we can learn and get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from. But, everything was written aforetime for our learning. that we have comfort and hope through the scriptures. But this is a woman that we strive to be. We strive to have that wisdom and to give great counsel and to have strength and understanding. And we already know what's our strength. Our strength is the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Ecclesiasticus 6:36. If thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. So if you see a sister, an ancient sister of understanding, if you can come across that, reminds me of Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. If you can find that virtuous and elder sister, let thy foot wear the steps of that sister's door. Meaning that you're going to be there to gain that wisdom and knowledge and understanding, because just like we read in Job, that with the ancient comes wisdom, good counsel, and understanding. And that's how we grow through the spirit. By listening to that elder counsel, that elder wisdom, that elder knowledge, that elder understanding. So if you have that in your life, don't take advantage of it. Use that sister. And let thy foot wear the step of that sister's door. You're always going to be there, asking for counsel, understanding, and knowledge. Psalm 71:18. Now also when I am old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I have shewed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come. And this precept reminded me of Anna the prophetess, because that's ultimately what she did, and she was an elder sister. These are examples of how we should try to strive to be now while we're in this truth. Even if you are a young woman, you might be 17, you might be 22, you might be 23, you might be 30, 40. It doesn't matter your age. This is something that we strive to be, to show our strength, to show the Lord's strength unto the generation and the power to everyone that is to come, which is the coming of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's our job. And asking the Lord to not forsake us so that we are able to do these things. So we can show forth the strength and the power into our children. And if we still hear our children's children. So that they can know, just like the mother in Maccabees let her children know, look, I'm going to receive you in the next life. You're going to know what the strength and the power of the Lord is. And that, again, reminded me of Anna the prophetess. Whew, y'all. Call Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All praises to the Most High. This is Luke 22 and 30. Luke 2 and 36. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of great age and had lived with an husband 7 years from her virginity. And she was a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers night and day. Before we even get anywhere else, let's just get to the point of the fact that, number one, Anna was a prophetess. To be a prophet means that you foresee things that's to come. Okay? She was from the tribe of Asher. She was an elder sister. She was living with her husband 7 years from her virginity. And she was a widow. So while her being this widow, she wasn't, I'm not going to go to this precept right now because I'm trying to, make this video short. But she wasn't being that busybody in other men's matters. Let's just go to it. What the heck? All right, this is 1 Timothy 5 and 2. We might as well bring out 2 because I want to bring that precept out. The elder women as mothers. Okay, no, we might as well start because I want to bring this out. So it's just the spirits coming out this way. Salakia. This is 1 Timothy 5 and 1. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren. The elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters with all purity. Honor widows that are widows indeed, but if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show pity at home and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before God. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate trusteth in God, and continue in supplications and prayers night and day. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And these things give in charge that they may be found blameless. I'm going to skip to verse 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of for her good works, if she have brought up children, if she had lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she had diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse, for they have begun to wax wanton against Yahushua. They will marry, having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies speaking on things they are not. So I'm gonna skip to 16. Well, no, let's read it. Let's bring it out. All right, verse 14. I would therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, got the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. And for some are already turned aside after Satan. If any man or woman that believeth have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. I'm going to jump down to 19. Against an elder receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses. So this scripture kind of shows us how widows should behave. Those elderly widows, and that's what Anna the prophetess was, and that's what Judith was. And that's Judith pretty much followed these guidelines because she knew through the Spirit how to behave and act as a widow woman. And she did not give her life over to pleasure. She knew no man after her husband died. She wasn't worried about having another husband. She was worried about serving the Lord. She didn't cast off her first faith, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and her first love. So when things get hard, or if you lose your husband, Lord forbid, or if your husband leaves you, and you have that understanding that, look, I'm going to dedicate my life to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and I'm going to grow old to be that elder sister in hopes that, my husband does come back around and we're reconciled. But this is a great example for sisters that just because your husband isn't in the truth, or he isn't pulling his part, or he isn't doing everything that he needs to do through the Spirit, that has nothing to do with your walk with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You should behave almost as if you're a widow, meaning that you're not casting off your first faith and putting trust in a man. You're putting your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, just like Anna the prophetess did, and just like Judith did, so that you are able to wax old and wax mightier through the Spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that you are considered an ancient, and that sisters can go to you for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, or etc. So I just wanted to make that point out, because some sisters do go aside. You can't go aside having damnation, casting off your first faith, where now you kind of going from house to house. You got a husband here, then you sleeping there with this husband. You looking for a husband. You looking for a father of your child. You looking for somebody to teach you. You looking for this. You looking for that. You need to be having a relationship with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Let's go back to Luke 2:37. And she was a widow, and this is speaking again about Anna. She was a widow of great age, an elderly sister of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fastings and prayers night and day. We just read that this is something that an elderly widow woman should do. So how much more other sisters, when you're in this truth, and your husband is not there, or etc., just like I brought out before. If an elder woman can do these things and be, old, when you're old, you wax, kind of weak, feeble. Sometimes you forget things. Sometimes you could have went through a whole bunch of things in your life. Instead of them being emotional and trying to live in pleasure, they pretty much set aside the thoughts that was most heavy into them, the fact that their husbands wasn't there, and served the Lord with fastings and prayers night and day. This is an example of how sisters should be. This was written for sisters to know and understand how to be through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and how to strive to be an elder woman in this truth. We have to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. This is Luke 2:38. And she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord, and spake of him to all them that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. This is exactly what I was saying in Psalm 71:18. Showing that strength unto the generation and thy power to everyone that is to come. That's what Anna the prophetess did. And that's what I exhort sisters to do. Let your children know the salvation, what's going to be the salvation of the Jews. What's going to happen in these latter days. And how it's important to teach good works and to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And it made me think also about how sometimes, some sisters might get a little scared of getting a little older. You might be like, dang, I'm getting older. I got a little wrinkle here. I got a gray hair there. I got a gray hair there. This, that, and the third. But that's a beautiful thing, to grow old and to become that ancient woman in the truth, if we still here. Leviticus 19:32, thou shalt rise up before the hoary head and honor the face of the old man and fear thy God. I am the Lord. So when you have that hoary head, that gray and white hair, people gonna be like, oh, that's an elder right there. Let me rise up when this sister come in the room. Shalom, sis. Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom, sis. Do you need anything from me? Do you need a water? Do you need are you comfortable? Do you need anything? No, baby, I'm good. I'm good, baby. It's okay. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Okay, sis. Okay, elder. Talk about sis. Okay, elder. If you need me, I'm here. That's honoring the face of that elder sister. That's something that we all strive for through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, this is Proverbs 16:31. The hoary head is a crown of glory if it be found in the way of righteousness. So all praises. That's a crown of glory. That salt and pepper hair you about to get, that's a crown of glory. If it be found in a way of righteousness. If you're having good works. If you're being that elderly sister, that Titus 2 woman. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 26:17. As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so is the beauty of the face in ripe age. So all praises to the Most High. You see an elderly sister and you're like, wow, you're beautiful. I remember I was in Detroit for a unity camp, and my husband and I was going to the bathroom, and I saw this elder sister, y'all. She was so extremely beautiful. I literally stopped in my tracks and I said, wow, you are so beautiful. She was like, oh, thank you. I was just so confounded because her face, she was an elderly woman, but her hair was so salt and pepper. Her face was so beautiful. Just looked like an extremely elegant, classy, beautiful elder. And I was literally astonished. I could not believe it. And I said, I'm trying to be like that when I get older. I want to bring out a precept. Ecclesiastes 8:1, Ecclesiastes 8:1, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. And that's what being that elder sister is. That wisdom is going to make your face change into that ripened face where you're just glowing and you're just beautiful, and everybody knows that, you know, this is a sister that I can go to because she has that wisdom and that knowledge and understanding, that counsel, and she's able to help me whatever I need from her. That this is a true Titus 2 woman. These are things that we strive to be, and that I exhort sisters to even try to act on in this day and age. These are things that we need to practice through the Spirit, being this Titus 2 woman. Because with practice, it only makes perfect. If you practicing being a Titus 2 woman, you know, then that will eventually get you to that point. Okay? But that boldness, that wisdom is really going to make your face to shine. And that's what that precept remind me of when I think about that sister that I saw. Like, this sister knows something. She knows something. You know, so call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem, Hamashiach wa Malak Yahushai, Barakatah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. I'm just so honored and grateful to do this video for y'all. And I just pray that y'all have a beautiful new moon and Feast of Tabernacles through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and that sisters take heed to this exhortation, and that y'all continue to hold it down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. I love y'all very much. Shalom.